Hello, what is up? My name is Elise. I am a licensed professional counselor here in the state of Wyoming. I have been studying psychology for the last 10 years, over a decade. I am a published author for fitness gym owners. Basically, I'm Burnout. You can check me out at Amazon for Kindle. It's free right now. Paper book, I think it's $9.99. Working on getting a hardcover and an audiobook going. But it's Elise Fancook is the author. It's a pretty unique name, so I don't think you're gonna miss it. It's called Ignite Your Gym, and it works through burnout. And today, I really wanted to talk to people about legacy and understanding what that means when it comes to your kids, because I think a lot of people don't recognize that that's a big deal. So let me just move this screen over here for us so that I'm looking at you instead of at this other screen over here. Perfect. So probably the most dangerous thing you're doing right now in this moment is only thinking about yourself. In the next 30 minutes, I want to talk about something nobody in the fitness industry is talking about. And honestly, most parents aren't either. That's why I'm lumping them all in together. We're going to talk about legacy, not the Instagram version, the real version. Stay with me on this. And hopefully we'll get some friends to join us here on the way. So, history is repeating itself and we keep missing it. Every generation believes it broke the cycle. Every generation passes on some version of the same wound forward. Now, I want us to begin thinking about Viktor Frankl, who, if some of you don't know, is also an author, but a psychologist who ended up surviving the Holocaust. I know what you're thinking. Elise, I opened my Instagram or Facebook to avoid thinking about my business, and now I'm getting an existential confrontation that I wasn't prepared for. You're welcome, but I promise you, stay with me. Meaning isn't something you find, it's something you build. And that's what Viktor Frankl talks a lot about. And you can't build it if you're the only one thinking about surviving today. And we see that a lot today with our older generations, right? The silver tsunami or the silver wave is happening right now. Baby boomers are selling or closing businesses at record rates. Hopefully the audio is doing well. Just want to make sure. Okay. The average age for first-time home buyers keeps rising. Right now, I think it's like you have to be 40 years old as an average first-time home buyer. Young people are starting later and inheriting less, carrying more. It's not an accident, it's a pattern that constantly repeats itself. The older generation held power by holding on. The question for us needs to be, what are we handing off? We can either be the generation that finally breaks the cycle, or the generation that perfects the excuse for why we didn't. Secondly, I want to talk about what most parents accidentally end up doing, which is leaving their kids with nothing. We love our kids fiercely, and we are exhausted. Those two things can exist, and they create a massive blind spot. Think we're all one spreadsheet away from figuring out our legacy plan, right? Just gotta find and finish Q2 first. And then summer's busy, and then it's Q4, and then your kids are 30, wondering why you never slowed down. This later is the lie. This is where ACT territory, the psychology of avoidance, comes in. We avoid the future because it feels uncertain, so we stay in a grind loop, mistaking businesses for building. When is the last time you thought about your child and what they'll inherit? Not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, professionally. It's a big load. Most fitness owners build something incredible, but without intentionality, it's either dying with them or getting sold for less than it's worth to someone who doesn't share that same vision. A lot of businesses are like that, right? Baby boomers build empires and then bless them. Some of them are trying to sell a business to their kids that the kids have watched destroy their parents for 25 years. And they're wondering why Gen Z doesn't want it. You can work yourself into the ground for your kids and still leave them nothing that lasts. That's the uncomfortable truth. And this is where I want to start talking about how you can't build a legacy from a place of burnout, right? Like, you can't think generationally if you're in survival mode. Burnout doesn't really steal your energy, it steals your horizon. Fitness business owners, especially, are the funniest people. To burned out means to be burnt out for them, literally, it's like they're selling wellness for a living. They're out here coaching people on recovery and eating lunch standing up on a keyboard or like over a keyboard. We've all seen everybody walking on their little treadmill. This is where ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, becomes a game changer for fitness business owners, especially. If it's not about toxic positivity, like that people, I feel like, push a lot towards. And it's definitely not about pushing through. It's about getting psychologically flexible enough to hold the present and the future at the same time. This is literally what my book, which is on Amazon, has, pretty good reviews. My mom didn't write any of them. It's written specifically for fitness business owners because I've watched too many incredible people burn out and walk away from something that could have outlasted them. The present day stability isn't separate from the legacy work. It is the legacy work. A regulated, purposeful you is the foundation everything else gets to build on. This is stewardship. What has been entrusted in you? Your business, your health, your family? Are you a steward of all of it? You should be, because you have a lot of knowledge to be able to pass down. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a warning that you've been building a foundation that won't hold the weight that you're trying to leave behind. Now, I want to talk to you about what it actually looks like to build a legacy right now. Legacy is not a destination. It's a daily practice. So what does that actually look like? It looks like a fitness business owner working on their business with purpose instead of just in it exhaustion. It looks like building something that could run without you, so it could outlast you. It looks like connecting to people who are asking the same questions, pushing each other, not just swapping revenue tips, but asking, what does this all mean? And I'll say, there are not people sitting in a circle crying about their feelings. They're just not. maybe sometimes, but productively. The people in my community right now are doing something I genuinely don't see anywhere else in the industry, honestly. They're not just trying to hit their next revenue goal, they're asking, what kind of business owner do I want my kids to have watched me be? The question changes everything in their life. I think Jesse Itzler, if you guys don't know who Jesse Itzler is, he's a great prime example of that. When he does any of the talks for some of the running programs, he talks about what his experiences have made him and modeled him into being that he wants to impress onto his children, right? The question I want you to sit with is 50 years from now, what do you want to have been true about how you ran your business and raised your kids at the same time? Because the answer to the question is your legacy. And it starts today, not later. There's a big shift happening in the industry right now. That silver wave means that the next 10 years will determine who actually built something lasting and who just built a job for themselves. I'll be honest, the people doing this work together are changing. You can feel it in how they talk about their business, their families, their faith. There's a seriousness of purpose that I think a lot of people in this industry are starving for. If you're watching this and you feel that hunger, you know where to find me. Lastly, I want to leave you with this. Drop a comment down below with one word that describes the legacy you want to leave. I want to read every single one, and if this message kind of hit with you today, share it. Share it with other people. Someone you love needs to hear the fact that we could all benefit from thinking about the next generation and what we are going to leave behind. Those things are important. Again, the book that I have on Burnout is on Amazon, free on Kindle, free for, those to give a try, and then on paperback for those of you who love a physical copy. And you can certainly message me and reach out if you are at all interested in joining my cohort. I have 10 years of experience with psychology, and over the last 5 years working with hundreds of different owners, entrepreneurs, making sure that they are ahead of the curve. They're going to do so much more of a lasting impact than any of us could ever think about. And I want more people to be in that situation. Well, unfortunately for me, I didn't say anything that was antagonizing any of the top verbiages that cause the algorithm to push out my content. So hopefully if you like this, you will share it with somebody. And that is it for me for now. So, ta-ta for now.